Holy smokes, they actually did it. What is going on, YouTube people? We have a massive eBay policy change. Finally, we have all been waiting, begging, praying that they would do something like this, and they finally have. And I don't want to say it's a game changer, but it's a big deal. We'll dive into the details here. YouTube stuff down below. Subscribe if you're not. Like, comment, all the jazz. So I got this email popped into my inbox around lunchtime today. And what they have done is if you no longer offer returns on your listings, a buyer now only has 3 days after delivery to request a return when the item is not as described. Holy smokes. We have been begging for this forever, and 3 days feels more than fair. Now, if you allow returns, it would follow whatever the return policy is that you allow, depending on what you have set up on your selling. Most people that do trading cards and this does cover sports cards, do not allow returns to avoid some of this nonsense. But currently it was 30 days. So for those that aren't in the know or are like, wait, why exactly is this a big deal? Let's cover what the Shady McShade returns would do. You would sell a card. Let's say, who's a good example? Luka. You would sell a Luka PSA 10, whatever. Let's say it's during the playoffs. Let's say it's last summer and he just hit a big game-winning shot and his price has spiked 2x, 3x. And you sold the night that he hit the game-winning shot. 28 days later, he's down 30, 40, 50% because they got eliminated, reality set in, whatever. Now, what someone would do is they would go in the little old on eBay and they go, oh, you know what? There's some scuffs on this PSA 10 case. I just noticed them. Item not as described. I would like to return this. And you as the seller obviously know that there was probably no scuffs on the case. The card just went down 40, 50, 60% in value, and they don't want it anymore because they have buyer's remorse, weren't smart, whatever. And then you get the eBay return request, and you pretty much have to take it. You don't really have a choice. So now you missed your window to sell the card. You have to offer a refund on the card, and maybe you already spent that money, whatever. And now you have the card back. You have to resell it probably for less amount. Hopefully you still have the money to cover the cost of the return. And this is, like I said, like a month after the fact. Oh, item not as described. It was a massive loophole in the eBay buyer protections for sports cards specifically. A lot of people were always like, listen, you should know within a few days if it does not meet your descriptions. If you're not home, you're on vacation or something, I guess, sorry about your luck. There's probably going to be a couple people that get screwed on this. You bought something, you're out of town, it comes in and it truly wasn't as described, and now you're outside the 3-day window. Could that happen? Sure. But this is a needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few type situation, because the amount of people that abused this was massive. Absolutely massive. Now, shady people could still try to pull nonsense with PayPal or their credit card company well after the fact. Usually in those cases, I've had that happen to me before, where it's past the 30 days and someone's saying something fishy went down. Like I had one where they said they got hacked and they didn't actually purchase it. eBay reached out to me. They wanted proof of delivery, so I had to send them tracking number and screenshots and stuff. And then they came back and said, you're good. You didn't do anything wrong. You actually sent it, to the correct address, this, that, the other thing. So I don't know if the other person got a refund, but I was able to keep my money in that case. So you're still going to have situations like that. But as long as you buy your shipping or provide shipping enter your tracking information, whether it's you purchase it through eBay or you enter it after the fact, you should be covered in most of those cases, I would think, as long as you could show proof of delivery. So this is a big, big deal. Um, I don't think it's gonna like, increase. It's not gonna like bump the market up or anything. We're not gonna see a 20% increase in sports cards all of a sudden. It's not like someone changing teams or anything like that. But from a peace of mind and a just general not having to worry about it anymore, this is really good. And this goes into effect. I should have led with this July 29th. So the end of next month, basically right before the national or right during the national, this goes live. This is probably the biggest. They've done some other policy shifts the last 6 months. They started kind of tuning things, tweaking things a little bit the last couple weeks or the last couple months. And this feels like the biggest change by far. They did the bid retraction thing where you have to authorize it. That wasn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. They did some other things with returns earlier in the year after Christmas, but it still left this loophole available. This was the one that needed closed, was the item not as described being good for 30 days. So now that this one is closed, this is big. So what do you guys and girls think? Is this as massive as I am making it out to be? Because I think it is. I think this is, I don't want to throw that the buzzword game changer around. But this feels like a little bit of a game changer. This definitely puts them more on par with something like a My Slabs. Now, obviously, eBay, you're still paying, the 11.5 to 13.5% fees or whatever it is. You still have to deal with managed payments, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that bad. It's slightly annoying. But to have 3-day seller protection is really, really big. It will definitely ease my mind a lot more about selling more expensive, higher volatility stuff on there now that they only have a 3-day window for it. So, yeah, be very curious for your guys' thoughts on this down below. So, usually when I make an afternoon video, it's scary times. The breaking news videos are usually mean bad news. This is actually good news. This is probably the biggest policy change, biggest thing that benefits sports card sellers that I've seen since I've been back in the game the last 2 or 3 years. This is big. This is really big. And it will definitely ease my concerns on selling on that platform, especially that high volatility stuff. So once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Will this change your selling habits? Are you going to be more willing to list on eBay now instead of a My Slabs or a Star Stock or an IG or Facebook groups or whatever? Or does this change nothing for you? That's what I'm curious about. Will this change your selling habits? But yeah, that's all I got for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.